What is intercultural communication? It is a discipline studied by a lot of people, such as, for example, psychologists, sociologists, and linguistics. I was able to write this degree thesis with the support of the second edition of a book entitled Intercultural Communication, written in 2015 by Paolo Ernesto Balboni, a professor at the Ca' Foscari University in Venice. In order to enter the intercultural world, the most important thing to remember is that coming into contact with another way of thinking does not mean negating our own culture. It means respecting people with different customs and not trying to impose our ideas on others. In this context, it is important to know what is proxemics. It is a science that studies the distance between bodies in social contexts. Edward Hall coined the word proxemics in 1966. According to him, interpersonal distances can be divided into 4 zones. Intimate distance, about 50-60 centimeters, usually used between partners. Personal distance from 50-60 to 100 centimeters, in which there are personal rapports, but it does not include intimate relations. Social distance between 100 and 350 centimeters, observed in public social contexts. Public distance more than 350 centimeters. And this distance zone belongs to heads of states, important diplomats, etc. Even if two cultures are geographically close, they can be light years far from each other in terms of proxemics. For example, in the Mediterranean, there are civilizations that see interpersonal distance as a deeply intimate sphere, while in others, people are used to touching the person with whom they are speaking. In other areas, such as Iran, interpersonal distances are minimal, and even soldiers are used to holding each other's hands to communicate friendship or respect. On the other hand, what Italians see as a sign of good manners is considered extremely negative by other cultures. For example, some expressions of affection towards children are strictly forbidden in the Philippines and in Thailand because they are considered as a sign of pedophilia. After proxemics, we can find kinesics. This word comes from the Greek kinesis, and it means movement, action, because it studies these things. In intercultural communication, a book is judged by its cover, because body language conveys unconscious messages. Misunderstandings happen because we can't control our body, because it responds to the commands of the brain. In nonverbal communication, arms and hands are the most important elements because they convey the highest number of messages. In my life, I have often been influenced by first impressions, above all by the way in which people shake hands. It is important to know that in some cultures an handshake is never particularly formal, and in others it does not exist at all. In India, people greet with the Anjali or the Namaste, gestures that consist in pressing the hands together with the thumbs near the heart. In rural Africa, people greet each other with an interesting gesture. They place the right hand first on their heart, on their lips, and then on their head, and finally they show it to their interlocutor. This gesture means, I am offering you my heart, my soul, and my head. The most important section of my degree thesis is gestures, which are not international. The famous victory sign, made for the first time by Winston Churchill, means victory if the palm is turned towards the interlocutor, but if it is turned towards the speaker, it means fuck off. In England, New Zealand, South Africa, and Ireland. In Islamic states, it is forbidden in public situations because it symbolizes the female reproductive system. We have to pay many attention when using the thumbs up sign to do OK, because it was the center of an international misunderstanding caused by Bush Sr. during a conference in Manila in 2003. The former US president had not studied Asian kinesics, because in this region this gesture means up yours. Clinton caused another diplomatic faux pas during a visit to the State Assembly in Moscow. He gave this okay, but he did not know that the only meaning this gesture has in Russia is I'll boost your ass. This gesture has no meaning in European cultures, but it is considered obscene in Saudi Arabia because it means one mother, five fathers, indicating that the identity of interlocutor's father is uncertain. Lastly, we have to speak about the way we dress. The way we dress is important because it's our business card and it contributes to creating our image. In this light, we have to think to the concept of formality because it concerns above all the way in which people are dressed at work. In India, people often still wear traditional clothes in both formal and informal situations. The only exception regards men working for multinationals. Men wear kurta and trousers, and women wear the traditional sari. It can't expose bosom. In China, men wear suits and ties without any problem, even if they do not use many colors. They prefer white, black, and grey. Women usually choose to wear traditional garments, such as the cheongsam, a Chinese silk dress known all over the world. In the USA, wearing a suit to work is not fundamental. Men should avoid wearing a jacket of one color and trousers of another, because this combination reminds the way in which immigrants during 20th century were dressed. Intercultural communication cannot be taught, because cultures are constantly evolving and are subject to changes. It is extremely important that linguistic mediators study intercultural communication, because also a simple hand gesture would influence relation among cultures.